America's interests have not changed with the election of Donald Trump. And it's very important that America's allies and actually America's adversaries recognize that Trump doesn't necessarily mean America.
Today, we are not merely transferring power from one administration to another or from one party to another, but we are transferring power from Washington, D.C. and giving it back to you, the people.
If you follow the media, if you look at what the media is saying, I think you would be very worried about the long-term health. It's all about the differences and disparities between what's happening in the United States and what's happening in Europe. However, we've just done a study, and we're bringing out a report now that shows that actually, if you go into the fundamentals of how foreign policy decision-making is made, we identified 12 areas that are the principal factors in foreign policy decision-making.
It's time to bring a clear-eyed focus to foreign affairs, to take a fresh look at the world around us, and to seek new solutions grounded in very ancient truths.
Yes, leadership is one, political polarization, geography, economics, history. There's a number of different factors. Of those, only 3 show the US and the principal European states diverging in a fundamentally structural way. That is in the area of demographics, it's in the area of natural resources, particularly food and energy, and it's in the area of the role of international organizations. Just to take the first, demographics, what we're seeing is in Europe, there's a much greater diaspora forming from the Middle East, for example, and Africa, whereas in the United States, it's mostly Hispanic. And so you're seeing a divergence through those demographics. You're seeing a divergence in terms of age in those demographics. And older people and younger people think very differently about foreign policy. So that's one of those structural changes.
I urge Congress to pass a legislation that will protect me and thousands of other individuals.
In all those 3 areas, there is a structural divergence between the US and Europe, but they can all be managed. And so if you look a little bit more profoundly at the transatlantic relationship, specifically that between the United States and the UK, France and Germany, actually the relationship is fairly healthy.
Send a good picture back to Germany, please, make sure.
There are things we can do to mitigate the major problems, and things like personality are cyclical, and they don't matter quite as much as we think they do.